welcome to this week's video. Today we're going to talk about something that I was asked about in a comment on my YouTube channel last week. So someone was asking me, when I am painting florals, am I looking at an actual still life setup that I've created, or am I looking at a photo, or what am I referencing when I'm making these paintings? And I'm going to give you the answer today. It may not be the answer that you want to hear, but most of the time when I paint, it all comes from my imagination. Sometimes I do get out books or maybe scroll on the internet and look for just containers of flowers. But I don't usually take the container of flowers in the photo that I'm looking at and paint it exactly like that. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that with an example. So I used a book that I have here in my studio. It's about flowers and it's called The Flower Book. I mean, there are tons and tons of different books that you could use to reference. You could go to the library and find books. You could probably go to used bookstores and find books about gardening or flower arranging or just flowers in general and find inspiration in these books. But I took this book and I had in mind what I wanted to do as far as the colors go, but I didn't have in mind what I wanted to do for the composition. So I think we talked about this some in our video last week, that loose painting is more than just trying something and see what happens. It's more about having a little bit of a plan and then loosening up your brush strokes more than your plan. So I did have a plan for a color palette, but I didn't have a plan for what I wanted the composition to be. So I was looking through the book and I found this, which I really liked. I like the way that everything's kind of overflowing. I like the roses, but I don't like the colors. So what I ended up doing was painting something similar, or not similar at all. You may not see that at all in this painting, but this was my reference photo, or really I would call it an inspiration photo, because it's not really represented in this, but it is enough for me just to give me an idea of what I can do to get it going. And so I'm just going to pick out a few things and show you what I mean. I had these bigger roses placed here in the front like I had in the reference. There are roses and there are lilies and there's a lot of greenery that's really draping down, and that's another thing that I used from the reference photo. However, I did not use any of the colors. I did use the shape of the container. I changed the direction of the shadow. I put it on this side over here, where in this reference photo the shadow is kind of just right here. It's not so exaggerated. But anyway, I thought this might help you to free you up, because that is another thing that I find to be a problem for a lot of people, is they feel restricted. They feel like there are rules that they've got to follow, or they're not doing it right. And you don't have to follow any rules. You can paint whatever you want to, whatever color you want to, however you want to. And painting flowers is one of the best things to paint, in my opinion, to be loose and free and not paint every detail of it, and it still will turn out to look like a flower. So for example, these roses here, when I'm putting down the paint for those, I'm not thinking about every single little petal, and I'm not thinking about I'm not really thinking a lot at all. I'm more about the shape and the color and the value. So I know I need to leave some dark in there and I need to have a medium value, and I need to have a light. And as I'm just putting down the paint, it just kind of all comes together. So if I were to overthink it and try to put in every detail, let's just look at the reference, every detail of every little petal in there. I mean, I could do it, but it's going to take me a long time, and it's not going to be fun anymore. But if I know that I've got a really light color, a darker color, and a very dark color, and I just put those in those general places, then it's going to turn out pretty good most of the time. So if this is something that you'd like to learn more about, I want to invite you to join or to sign up for my workshop that's coming up. It's coming up really soon, next Monday. If you're watching the day that this video comes out, on next Monday, the 28th of April, right? Yeah, the 28th of April, we're going to start a new workshop. I've never done this one before. It's called The Art of Letting Go, and we're going to be painting florals. And this is our inspiration piece. And so we're going to learn to paint. These are the actual, two of the actual tutorials that I've already recorded. This one and this one. And you will learn the step-by-step process that I take to paint these. We will also have 3 other sessions where we'll talk about color choices. We'll talk about mindset. I'll be able to answer your questions. It's all going to take place inside a Facebook group, but I've had so many people here on my YouTube channel, if you're watching on YouTube, to ask me about this and tell me maybe they don't have a Facebook account. So even if you don't have a Facebook account, you can still participate in the workshop. You just won't be there for the live sessions, but you can email me your questions and I can answer them that way. It's only $10 for 5 days of painting with me. And if you want to sign up, I'll put a link down below. Or you can go to artbyamandahilburn.com/workshop and get signed up. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you'll sign up for the workshop if that's something that you're interested in. And I will see you back here next week. Bye.